to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Adam here, and you're about to listen to a hypnosis session all about mindfulness. I was working with a client that was a very, very high achiever, very high standards, and was meticulous in their planning. They would constantly be thinking about what they needed to do, when they needed to do it, to the extent that even when they were doing the things that they were planning, they were then thinking about the very next thing that they needed to do. And what that meant is that they were always focused on the future and never really feeling present and enjoying the fruits of the labor that they'd worked very hard to achieve. And what this does is it goes back, it uses regression to a time when they were a gymnast to tap into a time when they did have that ability to feel really mindful and connected to their body and present in the moment. There's various metaphors and analogies used to highlight the futility of constantly focusing on the future and never actually being present. Some of those metaphors might resonate with you. But what's really powerful about this is parts therapy. And it came up because the client used a particular phrase and she was using we to describe her as an individual, which let me know that there was almost a committee of different subconscious parts working together. And a good therapist has sensory acuity to pay attention to the details that a lot of therapists would miss. That we was crucial because that committee of subconscious parts was obsessed with constantly planning, constantly achieving, constantly moving forward and mitigating risk. But it didn't have a part within that committee that was present and enjoying the moment and celebratory. So the parts therapy element of that creates what I call a minister of mindfulness, a responsibility. And the reason I call it a minister is that some people believe these parts are ego states and they are ego driven. They're driven by a desire to be important, responsible, meaningful. So the minister of mindfulness introduced that part. It's got one job, and that is in certain situations to be fully mindful, fully present, and extract all the value it possibly can from that particular moment. And that working with the other parts in terms of parts integration can be a very powerful shift. And the client reported that they did feel immediately different and they could really resonate with some of the attitudes. For example, a lot of animals, particularly dogs, they're clearly mindful. They are fully in the present. And, when they're excited, they're excited. When they're eating, they're really enjoying their food. So having a bit more of that golden retriever energy in their life would be very, very useful. It was created for an individual. You might not be this obsessive planner and have checklists in your head all the time, but you still might want to be more mindful. Accept the suggestions relevant to you, disregard the ones that aren't. And if you do like the idea of a customized session, have a look in the show notes, the description, or visit my website, adamcox.co.uk, and you will be able to schedule a completely free consultation call. We'll have a chat, and it could very well be that we end up working together. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in that slow, relaxing breath, and as you exhale, feel a wonderful feeling of release. Just releasing any feelings of tension, stress, or worry as your body breathes out. That's it. And as you breathe in and breathe out, give permission to your unconscious mind to do the breathing. because you can make yourself breathe. But you breathe when you sleep, and you don't have to think to breathe. So just think of your diaphragm right there near your belly, and just allow it to do the breathing for you. Your diaphragm empties your lungs, fills them up, with each breath getting deeper and deeper relaxed. That's it. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. And I wonder if you're able to think of a time running, perhaps on cycle paths, surrounded by trees, or maybe a trail that leads into the forest. I want you to think of a time when you found your rhythm, where you didn't have to think of one foot going in front of the other. It just happened unconsciously, all by itself. You can breathe unconsciously. Your heart can beat faster unconsciously. And you can run unconsciously. And therefore it's easy in this moment to allow your unconscious to start recalibrating, to keep everything that's good and just add one additional ingredient so that anxiety is reduced and all of the wonderful emotions are enhanced. I want you to imagine that there are two ways that you could enjoy that run. Imagine that your body is physically running, but your mind is thinking of later that day or the following day, going through checklists in your mind. What haven't you done? What could you do? What needs to be done? Even if most of it is just duplicating thoughts you've already had. There will be smells on that run. Certain flowers. The forest itself has a smell. There would be smells that you missed by being lost in your own mind. There would have been a temperature, perhaps of the sunshine on your skin, perhaps the sensation of a breeze. If you noticed, you could even hear your heart beating in your chest or that pulse on your temple. But all of that is invisible. I want you to get a feeling that there are some people that exist in a part of the world where they don't get to see trees with green leaves, with the smells of a forest. And yet on that run, it was available to you. I want you to think about something delicious that you ate. The purpose of food is not merely to extract the nutrients from what you eat. If that was the case, we would not have taste buds on our tongue and a nose, very close to our mouth, and eyes that see what we're eating. I want you to get a feeling that how you experience the world is through your senses. It's possible for someone to have a delicious thing to eat and completely forgot they've ever eaten it. But it's also possible for someone to find joy, pleasure, a sense of wonder from eating something as simple as an orange. 200 years ago, oranges were very rare, and only the very wealthy would create big greenhouses in the gardens of their mansions to create orangeries, to grow orange trees, just for the pleasure of having a few oranges every now and then throughout the year. Just imagine what it would be like to go back in time to one of those orangeries, to see an orange, to know that this is rare, that 99% of the people around you would never ever experience such a thing. And imagine how counterintuitive it would be to peel that orange and not smell that citrus smell. To bite into an orange and not be aware of the juice or the flavors or the texture. Imagine spending a year to grow an orange, and at the point where you're eating the orange, you're thinking of that other thing that needs to be done tomorrow. If your unconscious agrees that actually it makes no sense to spend all of that time and energy meticulously planning, if you never truly enjoy the very thing that you're planning, just let me know by nodding your head. And if that's true for a wealthy aristocrat 200 years ago, it is equally true for you now. And I want you to imagine that you're drifting back in time and watching yourself as a child doing gymnastics. Don't go back into that childlike version of you. Imagine yourself at your current age, seeing that child and knowing that they prepared and trained hard. But imagine them doing a performance, a routine. Maybe you can recall the music they did it to, the moves. And I want you to get a sense of real connection and pride, but most of all, curiosity. That young version of you knew intuitively how to get the balance right. They prepared their routine. They trained, they practiced, they attended classes. But when it came down to the thing they were preparing for, in that moment, they were mindful, fully present in their body, connected to the feeling of the center of gravity, the weight on the balls of their feet, the music, everything. And no one taught that younger version of you how to be fully present. You just knew. What's the point in preparing, planning, and practicing if you're going to be vacant at the very point where you get to the place you were intending to be? I want you to observe the clues of that version of you mindful. See how attentive they are, how connected to their own body they are. I want you to get a sense that mindfulness is not complicated. It's simply being present, accepting whatever happens in the moment, and paying attention to whatever your senses are telling you. What you hear, what you see, what you feel. Your senses are the gateway to your experience. I want you to imagine floating into that younger version of you and feeling how it would feel to be mindful like that. Perhaps you can remember that routine, how it started, how the music went, a certain move or a sequence that you did. And just notice how easy it was to be focused, to be aware. Just allow all of those neural pathways that know how to get the balance right to reawaken. And then imagine that routine is finished. And just imagine that feeling of pride, accomplishment. Maybe you can remember yourself smiling. All of it is evidence of being fully connected to the now. Imagine floating back to that current version of you, but take that mindfulness with you. And then imagine there in that forest is like a table, maybe a boardroom table, maybe a round table. And I want you to imagine inviting all the parts that represent we. When you say to yourself, we've got to get on top of this. We can't rest on our laurels. All the people that are included in we, those parts of your subconscious mind, invite them to attend the table. Maybe there's parts that represent discipline, vigilance, preparation, mitigation of risk. Invite them all. Whoever is we, they need to be there. And you might imagine them as people or characters or just energy. But when all the parts responsible for we are there, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. And I want you to start, because you're chairing this meeting, by thanking them. Thank all the parts and say you would not have accomplished what you have accomplished were it not for their meticulous planning, preparation, vigilance, and dedication. Everything you have accomplished, you can give credit to them. If they accept that appreciation, let me know by nodding your head. But then I want you to warn them that if something doesn't change, you risk everything you have built. I want you to tell them that the one thing missing is appreciating everything that the planning was for. I want them to get a sense that unless the things you plan you're present for when you get there, you risk losing motivation because there isn't sufficient payoff for all of that hard work that you're doing. What's the point in preparing so hard if you never get to enjoy the very thing that you're building? I want you to imagine someone spending years and years and years building a custom-built car, and they have all of the people needed: mechanics, engineers, designers. Everyone meticulously builds the car, and once it's built, they then focus on building the next car, but they never really enjoy the car they've built. I want you to ask all of those parts around that table if they understand that if you don't taste the fruits of your labor, you will lose the motivation to grow them for the next harvest. And if all parts agree, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to tell them, by introducing one additional part, you get to be even more accomplished, even healthier, because cortisol and adrenaline suppress the immune system, whereas all of those feel-good biochemicals, the oxytocin, the serotonin, the endorphins, and even dopamine, well, they improve your health. They enhance your sympathetic nervous system. They make you sleep better. And they charge your batteries faster to take on the next thing. And all that's needed to do all of that is to have one part which is the minister of mindfulness. Their job is to pay attention to things in the moment, to be present, to feel accomplished, and to make evaluations as to how well you've done after all of that preparation. And I want you to imagine calling forward whichever part in your subconscious mind would be most useful and appropriate for this responsibility. Someone that seems present. They don't need to be concerned with the planning and the preparation and the mitigation of risk. All the other parts have got that under control. This part pays attention, is fully present, perhaps has the energy of a golden retriever dog, attentive, enthusiastic, in the moment. And when this part comes forward, offer them a seat at the table and let me know by nodding your head. And just think of how this part appears, their energy, how they seem, and ask them, are they willing to take this responsibility? To enjoy being more in the moment, And if they say yes, let me know by nodding your head. And there is a condition, not for this mindful part, but for all the other parts, that when the minister of mindfulness is being mindful, all other parts must wait. They are not allowed to plan, worry, mitigate risk, while the minister of mindfulness is being mindful. When the mindfulness and the moment has passed, then those other parts, well, then they get back to doing what they do best. Your unconscious mind will accept the suggestion that the more mindful you are, the more you enjoy what you've accomplished. The more mindful you are, the more your whole nervous system calms down as you realize your own evaluation of your identity wasn't quite right. For years, you thought that you had the identity of an anxious person, and you never did. You have the identity of a prepared person with high standards. Those high standards meant that you didn't want to become complacent. You're not anxious, you are outstanding. And put that to a vote to all of those parts. If they agree to reject the identity of anxiety and embrace the identity of being mindfully outstanding, ask them to raise their hands, and if they all agree, let me know by nodding your head. And you will notice subtle differences in the next days and weeks that follow. Moments of evaluation of anxiety become preparedness, future planning. But you will allow yourself to hold the same standard of an expert tailor. Measure twice, cut once, not measure 8 times and think of something else while you're cutting. And if all parts agree to this new standard, then don't be surprised if overthinking goes down and present mindful thinking increases without any reduction in your standards. In fact, your standards will increase. If all parts agree to this new dynamic, a dynamic where all parts of you work in harmony to accomplish, to experience, but also to enjoy, let me know by nodding your head. Thank all the parts again for this new, dynamic, harmonious relationship, and see a new level of enthusiasm in all of them. Some of those parts were getting jaded, like a greyhound, always chasing the rabbit but never catching it. And now they get to enjoy the journey and the destination. And imagine yourself floating all the way back to the present, taking all of these wonderful changes with you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.